Hello. In this 1.21.1 KubeJS video, we're going to be going over how to use the event.forEachRecipe function within the server events.recipes event listener. If you find these types of videos informative, I would appreciate a like, comment, and a subscription with notifications turned on to make sure that I can continue to make more videos like this. In addition, thank you to BisectHosting for supporting my channel. They offer fantastic Minecraft server hosting, plus many other games as well. You can pre-install over 2,300 Minecraft mod packs automatically, and they offer plenty of other great perks like tech support, server hosting locations, and security protection. So I highly recommend you check out my affiliate link in the description below. That'll bring you to the website that I got the screenshot from. There's plenty of great information there that can help inform a possible purchase that aligns with your needs and budget. So again, thank you to BisectHosting for supporting my channel. But now to the code. So here we're going to start off with server events.recipes, and then we're just going to pass in our handler inside the event listener. So this event, as you've seen in other videos, and you probably know, this event runs during the datapack recipe loading phase. So this allows scripts to add, remove, modify, and iterate through recipes. So obviously in this video we're going to be going through the iterate part. In this example, we're going to iterate through recipes that contain a specific item. So in this case we're going to be using the Pam's HarvestCraft saucepan. And then we're going to be converting them into create mod mixing recipes without the saucepan. So let's get started. Let's start by declaring our constant. I'm just going to call it saucepan. That's going to be the item ID, so it's Pam HE2 food core saucepan item. So it's good to define this here because we're going to be referring to this item ID a few times. But now we're going to get into the actual event call. So we're going to do event.forEachRecipe. And there's two things we need to pass in here. The first is the filter. So we want to identify every recipe where the saucepan is one of the ingredients. So we do that with input. And then we're going to pass in our saucepan constant. And then we're going to pass in our consumer. So I'm just going to call it recipe. First, we want to declare an array that will store the new ingredient list for the create mixing recipe we are generating. So we're going to do let ingredients JSON be equal to an empty array at first. Then we want to we're going to use the recipe, in this case, .get original recipe ingredients. So this returns ingredients from the original recipe before any modifications that we're going to do. And what we want to do is iterate through those. So inside the array here, first we want to see if the ingredient we're on is the saucepan. So we're going to do that with the test function. So this tests whether the ingredient matches the provided item. So we're going to do if, and we're going to use an exclamation point for not. So we want to see if it's not the saucepan item, we want to convert the ingredient object into JSON format. So what we're going to do is we're going to push that into the ingredients JSON. So we're going to do push i.toJSON. And you'll see why we need to use JSON here in a minute. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to build the result. So we do that with, we're going to declare a new JSON, so result JSON. We're going to make that equal. We need curly braces. So we need to specify the count. and that's going to be equal to recipe.original recipe result dot count, and then we want to specify the ID. So that's going to be recipe.original recipe result dot ID. So now that we have that, we need to. It's always good practice to specify recipe ID. So we're going to make a new one here. So we're going to call it let clean ID be equal to recipe dot original recipe result dot ID, and then we're going to do dot replace. We're going to replace any colons with an underscore, because you can't have multiple colons in an ID. So now that we have all that ready, we can actually create the new recipe. So we're going to do event.custom, and then inside any custom recipe, you need to define JSON. So that's why we had to do all that. First is the type. That's going to be create mixing. Next is the ingredients, and that's simply going to be the ingredients JSON that we made. Next is the results, and that's simply going to be the result JSON. And then finally, we want to make it so the mixing recipe needs to be heated. So we're going to do that with heat requirement is heated. And then we're going to specify that ID. So we're going to do ID, we're going to do create mixing, and I usually like to do KubeJS to specify it's a KubeJS recipe. And then we're going to pass in our clean ID. And we need the ticks, not the single quotation marks there. So again, what this does, the script automatically converts all cooking recipes that require a saucepan to create mixer recipes. So an example, let's say carrot soup requires carrot, potato, and saucepan. The create mixer recipe is just going to require a carrot and a potato. This is a very useful and underused function here. Without for each recipe, you would need to manually write hundreds of recipes. In this case, many Pam's HarvestCraft recipes into create. So obviously in this video we demonstrated for each recipe, get original recipe ingredients because that's an array, ingredient.test, seeing if it actually matches an item if we want to remove certain or add some, ingredient to JSON because in this case we needed JSON for the recipe, and then event.custom as I've done in other videos, which generates custom datapack recipes. If you found this video informative, I would appreciate a like, comment, subscription, turn notifications on as well. In addition, thank you to BisectHosting for supporting my channel. Otherwise, thank you for your time watching this video, and have a great day.